Hey, darlings, I feel like there's so many things to update. Like, I don't even know where to start. So the biggest thing, actually, there's two big things. Maybe there's more. I don't know. But my house sold. Like, it's done. Like, the money is in my bank account. And I feel like it was such a long slog that it's super hard to believe. I'm just like, what? Really? Like, it's like I kept waiting. Like, I saw the money in my account. I'm like, what's going on? Because I did a virtual closing yesterday, and my ex-partner, who also owned the house, was going to do his at 3, and it was before 3 o'clock that I had the money. And the final walkthrough was at noon, and I kept waiting, being like, are we going to hear something? Because some stuff got like scuffed up when my ex-partner was moving things out, so I was super worried because like I made sure everything was like beautiful, like every paint thing, like there were no chips, it was like perfect, and then he scuffed up stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know why I pictured them like not wanting the house because of that, just being like, oh, there's this minor tiny thing. Nope, we don't want it. And then I think like the attic wasn't perfect, basement probably wasn't perfect. Like we left some sheetrock and some like quarter bead. Is that what you call it? I don't know. In the basement, but I was like, yep, they're just gonna like, nope, and we're gonna have to figure out who to sell it to, and it's not gonna be worth as much, and just, but no. Like, but my ex-partner said closing went fine, so it's done. And so I'm like, what? Because it was so stressful. Like, all of it was super stressful because we had to fix a bunch of things up. And then my ex-partner was super, super up and down. Like, it'd be one thing if I just knew he was going to be a complete sack of potatoes. I was going to say sack of dicks. I don't have to censor myself as much on YouTube. Complete sack of dicks. But no, he'd be like, nice, and then awful, and then nice, awful. And like, so what they say, like, ambivalent people are the worst. Like, if you know someone's just great, cool. If you know someone's just awful, cool. But when they're like, you don't know what to expect, super stressful. So that was stressful. And then he would like get mad at me because he wanted to do everything together, and I was like, we don't have to. We don't work well together. We often don't get along. Like, we can do everything by ourselves. Like, we don't, anyway, that was hard. And then money, that was hard because I also bought a camper to stay in because I work in Duluth and I live like an hour away. And so my one partner and I like drive in. But yeah, I wanted someplace that I could still stay because I have weird breaks during the day. So paying for the camper, the RV site that it's at, the house, and then contributing some towards the house I'm living in now. So that, like, I just, like, no money, just eating away at savings. Which, like, I'm lucky that I was able to do that instead of, like, credit cards. So that's good. But still, stressful when you've, like, worked really hard at paying all your bills okay, and then suddenly, like, you can't. You have to, like, dip into other stuff. Anyway, it was a lot. It was a lot. Dealing with ex-partner, finances, and then finding the time to move everything, to fix everything up. And then, like, there was issues with the home inspection, and they wanted all this stuff done, like the sellers, buyers. I have the Rona. My brain's tired. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, and then it's just done. And I'm like, how is it done? That's crazy. And then with my little polycule, my little throuple, that's been way easier. And that's been throwing me off because for the longest time it was really stressful because we're just trying to figure everything out. And I think we've mostly figured out the big stuff. I feel like I've worked through like literally 35 years of like life trauma. Just all these like different fears and just confronting them and weeding through them. And there's still some stuff there, but I feel like I've gotten through like the major big stuff. And I think we've just figured out what works. And so that's weird because I'm like, nothing has gone wrong for several days. What is happening? No one's had an emotional reaction. Everything's been smooth and loving and sweet. And I'm like, what is going on? Excuse me. Yeah, it was to the point where I talked to my main partner. I was like, can you just make some sort of stressor? Because this feels weird. Um, yeah. And I'm really worried that I will try to do something to make things more stressful just because it feels so unnatural. And I didn't realize how stressed I was until that stressor wasn't there anymore. Because they say that anything different, even if it's better, can feel strange. We like things that are the same because that feels comfortable. Because in ye old humanity days, the things that you were familiar with, you know, if you were alive, they would probably keep you alive. Even if they weren't pleasant, you know, if you keep doing the same thing, you'd probably be alive. You eat a new food, you might die. You pet a new random animal you haven't met before, you might die. So I know I can make not being as stressed familiar. It just might take a bit. And if you're there where you've been living in stress and suddenly a lot of those stressors are gone and you feel weird, you're not alone. Because I feel really flippin' weird. I feel happy. I got some writing done. I feel hopeful. This is so weird. But we're gonna make it familiar. I'm gonna embrace it. I'm going to enjoy. Let's enjoy. Let's enjoy life. We got this. Okay, bye.